something motivational, right? Something that inspires you to be a leader. You know, I've been to one that Ignite the Spark. NOAC, Decide Your Destiny. You come to Oregon and the theme is dinosaurs. Yeah, let's hear it. Their theme was dinosaurs. By the way, let's put a hand together for the shows team or the videos team. That was actually a really high quality video. I enjoyed it. Speaking of being scared of things, I'm hoping that it's safe for me to be on stage now. You know, Chris, I was talking to him over there, and he's telling me, yeah, before your keynote, we're going to have this session with the VIPs where everyone gets pied in the face. And I said, okay, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right. So I went over there and hid. And I think I'm the winner out of all this. You know, I don't. It's not like I don't have experience with getting pied in the face, though, right? So a couple years ago, I was at Conclave and I was a lodge chief. I'm from Virginia Beach, by the way, right? If you didn't know that already. So opposite side of the country. So I'm at a conclave in Virginia, and I'm the lodge chief. And the theme it's the 100th anniversary of the OA, right? So 2015. And our theme is 100th birthday party, right? Because I think that's appropriate. Right? So everybody dressed up as old people, right? And the advisors got really mad. They actually complained. So that was a whole other thing. Anyway, they had me pop out of a cake, right? And it was supposed to be like, you know, this big party, and then it culminates when I pop out of this cake, right? And they just set me up, right? So I pop out, I'm feeling good about I'm like hidden in this wheeling cake. So it's not a real cake, but they have real cakes. So they wheel this thing up, I'm in it, it's very uncomfortable. I was in it for like an hour because they didn't want people to know that someone was in it. So I'm sitting in this thing, and it's kind of hot. It's also raining, and the thing leaks, so it's filling with water. And I can swim. So all of a sudden, they like, you know, I can still hear. So then I know it's like my cue to come out. So I pop out, and it's like, yeah, everybody's got those, like, the streamers, and, you know, everybody's making noise, cheering. And then they pie me with a lot of cakes, right? And there were, like, really not many showers at this camp. So it was not fun. Anyway, also, like, the camp closed down the next year, which tells you the quality of the camp. So anyway, I digress. Yeah, Jordan said that I should talk about something with leadership, but I think it's more fun to just give stories. You know, throughout these events, you know, a lot of people come up to me and Jordan and Justin and Zach, right? We get to travel to a lot of this stuff. And they always, you know, not always, but a lot of times people ask, you know, how do you guys become national officers, right? And they want to know, like, what did you do to get there? You know, what are the secrets, right? And you know, we tell them, like, you know, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, right? And, you know, but they always look at us like, wow, like, you guys are great. Or, you know, well, you know, we're just like everybody else. You know, if I had to, give you one of my greatest skills or something, you know, I'd be really hard pressed to do it, right? I consider myself to be one of the most average guys, right? I think I'm okay at a lot of things, but there's probably nothing I'm that good at that somebody in the room can't do, right? I'm an okay athlete, right? I can go hiking, right? I know how to avoid getting pied in the face, right? I'm okay at school, right? I mean, I study, right? I have to work if I want to do well, right? So, but, you know, to get to this point and be a national officer, you know, all you really have to do is have fun, work hard, right? That's really the answer, right? And obviously we can give you more detail if you want it, right? But ultimately, we're screw-ups like everybody else, right, Jordan? Jordan would know. I love you, buddy. Jordan's gonna excuse himself. No, but all right. Well, now I'll give you a personal screw-up story. So I'm at this event, right? And I'm supposed to like be setting an example of these things, right? So me and my friend, are you guys ever? Is it just me, or do you ever just get in like a mischievous mood? Like you just want to like do something, yeah, stupid. That's a good word to describe it. So me and my friend Craig are at this event, and we hear that there is this like these eggs, right? We hear that there's this big box of eggs, right? I don't know why, but they're sitting outside, right? So we're hanging out with our friends, and we have this one friend, Lewis, right? And so we say, Lewis is getting on our nerves. So we should like take some eggs to this guy, right? Not like throw them at him, right? But just like crack them over his head or something, just one or two or three. But so me and Craig go get these eggs, and we get there, we find the box of eggs. It was pretty simple to find. Like I said, it's just sitting there, and that's besides the point. I don't really understand. Eggs go bad, right? Yeah. Anyway, so we load up with these eggs, and they had to be really bad, right? I mean, they are sitting outside, so they're more fragile than normal. Is that how eggs work? Like when they're not kept cold? Okay, just making sure. I don't typically like put myself in a situation that has raw eggs lying around, or not raw, but bad, I don't know. And I'm good with words. So anyway, we take these eggs and we put them in our pockets, right? We like put them in like this pocket, right? It's like we're like setting up to go into war, right? And on Lewis, our friend. So I put this one egg in my left pocket, all good. Put this egg in my right pocket, all good. And then I like reach down to grab a third egg. I don't know why I would need it. I was out of pockets unless I used this one. And then I feel this egg crack in this pocket, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. And then I realized that my phone is in this pocket, so it's kind of like it is right now. So then I get the shell out, and then the yolk is still in my pocket. And I get my phone out. Anyway, that was a mess. The phone was okay. Praise. Anyway, that's we never even got to mess with Lewis, right? I figured that was a sign that he didn't deserve it. So, why did I tell you that? I don't know, but I guess it's a way of saying, like I really think that between all of us, we're not too far different from you guys, right? I mean, at a lot of events, I've been in your exact shoes, right? And sitting on the dirt, watching a pretty poor keynote speaker, right? who you're not going to remember what he said anyway, or you might remember that he put eggs in his pocket without the shell. But no, at these, I remember my first conclave, for example, right? And I was sitting and watching the closing show, the Saturday night show, and I thought that like those people that were on stage running for those offices, like Chris did and Ethan did, right? And watching, all those people like having fun and getting pie in the face and stuff. They were rock stars, right? Like those were people that I really aspired to be. And then you get to know them, and you think, wow, these guys are not. I see myself in their shoes, right? And that is what's really cool, in my opinion, about the OA and about scouting, right? In just 3 or 4 years, you can go from sitting and attending a conclave to then, being the one that gets to give the speech if you want to, right? If you stay involved enough. And that's what's really cool. We have this this system that we've put in place where you can mess up, have eggshells crack in your pockets, right? One day, and then the next day you can be, an example to other people, right? So that's what's really cool about scouting. But let me go to my main point here, and I don't want to take too long because the more I talk, the less anyone remembers, if they remember anything to begin with. Yeah. Thanks for calling me out on my grammar there. No, people always say, how do you get to be to this point? How do you become a leader at a national level, right? And the answer to it, I would say, is just by working hard yourself and believing in yourself, and then also trying to just be a good person to other people. And that's a lot easier said than done, obviously. But if I could put it into 2 points, this is what it would be for everyone to walk away with from listening to me right now. It would be this. The first one is that you have to really put yourselves in the service of other people, right? We throw around the word servant leader a lot, right? And a lot of times, I know myself, you can say that phrase without really thinking about what it means, right? That means that you have to honestly not care about yourself. You have to just simply care about the people that you're serving, the people that have elected you or basically have entrusted themselves to you to be their leader, right? I'm seeing James in the front row, and I can't help but think about Trek guides in 2017. Our chapter advisor, Kevin, is in the back too, and Mark it's like a reunion. Right? Yeah, round of applause for anyone who was a Trek guy. Chris Craig was a Trek guy. So that's like the perfect example of being a servant leader, right? You have to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning at the National Jamboree, and then go hike 12 miles, something like that, before it's 10 a.m., right? And then once you get up there, they put you to work staffing different areas, and then you, at the end of the day, you want to kick your shoes off and go call it a day and hop in your tent, go to bed, and so you can get up at 4:30 again, right? And then you find out that there were not enough buses, right? So now you got to walk 12 miles back, right? And then you got to go staff the closing show, right? So that's an example of where if you really thought about, wow, why am I doing this, right? And your heart wasn't in it, and you weren't in the right place, then you would really get upset, right? Because you aren't gaining anything yourself out of that experience. It's completely about making the experience better for other people. People travel across the country and sometimes even the world to go to jamborees, right? And if they have a bad time, then they're never going to come back. So if you give them a good time, or I'm using jamboree as an example, think about Conclave, right? Chris and his team have done an incredible job putting this weekend together, right? And he knows that if raise your hand if you're a new airman, first Conclave. Awesome. He knows that if this Conclave is bad, then there's a really low chance that you would ever want to come back, right? Because why would you drive a long distance to come back to something that you didn't enjoy, right? So it's the same way with being a servant leader, right? You have to really think about the other person's perspective and trust that if you try hard to give them a good experience, then they're going to pay it forward the next day. And they're going to do the same for somebody else. And it's just like that with being a national officer, right? If you're only in this for the perks, right, like getting to travel around the country, for example, right, then it's not enough, right? I mean, you really have to enjoy doing this, and there's certainly a lot of time management that comes with it, and being able to balance school and things like that, right? But if you were only in it because you wanted to be some type of celebrity, then that's certainly that's not enough. You wouldn't enjoy doing this stuff. You have to genuinely enjoy caring about other people, right? So that's the first one. And to sum that point up, really, put yourself in someone else's shoes. Try to reach out to them and be a friend. The second point is that you have to take care of yourself. And this is the final point that I'll leave you guys with tonight. If you want to be able to take care of somebody else and be nice to them and make them feel better about themselves and inspire them to be a leader and do big things, you have to first take care of yourself, right? And that means that every now and again, you need to take a step back and take a breath and ask yourself, how am I doing, right? And that doesn't mean that you have to be selfish or anything like that, but it just means that if you want to be a leader of other people, you have to first be able to lead yourself. That means that you need to take care of all your business at school, right? Even with our schedules, right? School comes first, right? And we'll be the first ones to tell you that, right? So you have to take care of that. You have to be good to your family, right? Mom and dad are people that you need to really really do your best to show that you're appreciative of everything they've done, right? And all that kind of stuff, right? If you don't first take care of yourself, you can't be a leader of others. And it's as simple as that. So with that, I'll leave you guys. I think we need to talk more about dinosaurs or something like that. I don't know what's on the agenda, but I'll pass it back over to Chris. Thank you for making my first trip to Oregon a meaningful one, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys more tonight. Thank you, everybody.